There's a secret Apple knows that most real estate agents completely miss. Once you understand this secret, you will never look at your real estate marketing the same way again. Now, imagine you're a kid at a candy store. You're with your friends, you see all kinds of sweets, but there's that one shiny, colorful jar that everybody seems to be talking about. It has a secret recipe, and everybody wants more of that specific jar. That is Apple. Most real estate agents are kind of like the other candies or other sweets down on the shelves. They're wishing that somebody will notice them. They hold up their for sale signs. They'll tell how great they are, hoping that you will notice them. But Apple is the opposite. They don't hold up their products. People just notice them. Now, what is Apple's secret? Apple's secret is simple, but it is powerful. That's how they became one of the most valuable companies in the world, worth over $2.5 trillion, with over half of the market share in the United States in terms of the smartphone market. Now, if you want to learn their secret, you will learn that real estate marketing can be completely different from what you have heard about so far. Now, let me be clear here. This is not a fluke. This is not something that happened randomly. This is a result of specific strategy Apple implemented in terms of their marketing strategy. Now, this is a result of story-based customer-centric marketing, something that's going to directly apply to your real estate business and something you must start doing in 2025 if you want to attract a lot of real estate business online. Now, let's dive right in and talk about how do you flip that script and become that colorful candy jar, just like Apple, so that you can speak directly to what consumers want and get noticed to become that go-to real estate agent. Step number one is going to be to stop selling yourself. Start selling the homeowner's dream. Imagine you're staging a home. You wouldn't really fill the home with things that only matter to you, or you wouldn't leave like clutter in the rooms, right? You'd set it up for the buyers so they can picture the lives in the house. There'll probably be a cozy reading chair, maybe a bright kitchen for Sunday brunch, maybe a backyard where the kids can play, and you would kind of set it up in a way where the buyers would imagine living in that house. And Apple does the same exact thing. They don't just list out technical specs, but they show people laughing, capturing memories with iPhone in their hands. Now, the homeowners, in terms of real estate marketing, they don't care that you've sold 50 houses. They don't care that you sold the house at $923,000. They don't care about any of that stuff. That's like showing them that empty room or showing them that staging in a way that only matters to you. They want to see how you can help them get the best price, sell the house quickly, do it without endless headaches. So fill their minds with stories where they can see themselves in. As an example, if you have a transaction with a home buyer, they went through divorce, or maybe they had to downsize their property so they can have more money for traveling, describe that story step by step from start to finish and include the different stages of that process. Talk about the different emotions, talk about the different stages of the process you guys went through together, and show the end result with them smiling at the end, going to that real estate transaction. Ultimately, make sure that you make people feel what their lives are going to be like when they work with you, because that's really when they're going to be actually sold on working with you. And that's what Apple does best. They don't talk about the specs, they talk about the feelings people experience as they're using iPhone, as they're using their devices. Now, step number two is to tap into what the homeowners actually want. Easiest way to think about this is that if you want to build a curb appeal, you wouldn't just put up a sign that says, hey, this house is charming. You would actually build that curb appeal. You would show that curb appeal by having a nice lawn. You would have welcoming flowers. You would have a front door that invites people in, right? You would do all those things to actually show that there is that curb appeal. And according to a survey done by NAR, so National Association of Realtors, 86% of buyers and sellers said that they actually want their agent to be honest and trustworthy. But how many agents actually say, hey, I am a trustworthy real estate agent, right? All the real estate agents say that. And it does not work. It doesn't get people to trust you. Same thing applies to Apple, right? Apple doesn't say, hey, we're a good iPhone or we're a good phone. They show it through how the products work, right? The products are simple to use. There's a lot of satisfied customers who return and buy the iPhone over and over again. And there's a service experience that when you actually go to Apple store, it's nice, right? They treat you nicely. You can use their products. You can try them out. You also can see the products for themselves and use them for a little bit before purchasing them. So same applies to your service as a real estate agent. If you want to attract a lot of listings, don't say that you're trustworthy, but show it. But how do you display that trustworthiness in the modern day and age where there's all this skepticism, there's lack of trust, there's all these events going on right now, right? Well, you want to actually show people the real stories of the clients you work with, right? That's something we already established, but also think about the experience people go through when they go through your marketing. As an example, if your marketing is based on lead generation, if you just buy leads from tools like Zillow or you buy leads from platforms like Chime Leads, right? Really the experience that the person experiences, right, as they go into that process is that they just opt in and you start hammering them, right? You start calling them, you start to chase them around. So there's really no value, there's no trustworthiness established. So imagine your real estate marketing from the opposite angle where they have already seen a lot of property tours from you, they have already seen stories where you have worked with the clients, they have received guides, they have received information about the home selling process, and they have themselves booked a phone call to speak with you after seeing all those things. Now, that person is going to be very different in terms of their level of engagement. If you talk to the person that just came in from a random lead form, right, they're going to be skeptical, they're going to be sales resistant, you have to go through a lot of hoops, right, you have to chase them around, and it's a very, very unpleasant experience almost that they kind of go through, not only for them, but also for you. So ask yourself, how can you display that trustworthiness without having to necessarily talk with people one-on-one? Because a lot of real estate agents are great in front of the people, right? They can talk, they can establish a rapport, all those different things. But ask yourself, how can you display that trustworthiness online without having to hop on a call, without having to actually meet them in person? What are some of the things that I see from you as a real estate agent? Let's say I become your lead, right? How do you retarget me? Do I see personal content from you? Do I see different valuable guides? Do I see different YouTube videos from you where you're showcasing interesting properties? Do you share different valuable information about the real estate market, right? All these different things to actually build trust without you having to necessarily talk to people one-on-one. And really, this is all going to come down to the modern age of marketing, where a lot of people, they make decisions based on after becoming your lead. So they don't just become a lead and purchase right away, but you want to have a lot of nurturing when it comes down to the insights, tips, different advice they can use without even being your customer. And this is really similar to that well-kept home that just draws people in. People come to the home that is interesting, it is well priced, it has that great curb appeal, and that's exactly the same when it comes down to your real estate marketing in 2025. You want to have people see you without even hopping on a call. And that's really what it comes down to, is to tapping into what the homeowners actually want. But when you talk about homeowners, we don't just talk about the people that are your customers, we talk about the homeowner market in general in your local area. You want to be building to trust with all the homeowners in your local area, but in particular with those people that become your leads. They should have a lot of things that they see before they even become your customer. Similar to if you go to Apple Store, you can try out the products. You can see iPhone, you can see MacBook, you can see iPad. You can test out all those products without ever purchasing them. So the modern age equivalent of this for real estate marketing is content. It's producing different things. And for a lot of people, this is difficult, but it's something that you want to adapt to if you want to become that Apple in your local real estate market. Now, step number 3 is to position yourself as a problem solver. Apple doesn't sell phones, they sell solutions to problems. There's instant connectivity, there's high quality cameras that fit into your pocket, right? There's access to an ecosystem that makes your life easier when you purchase Apple products. Now, same applies to you as a real estate agent. Obviously, you're not Apple, but think of yourself as like a handyman with a toolkit. Homeowners don't need to know how many tools you have or how shiny are the tools. They just want to know you can fix your leaky faucet or patch up the walls, make your place shine if they're hiring a handyman. Now, same applies to Apple, right? They don't talk about the specs inside of their phones, right? It's not that, okay, Apple goes to the computer and says, what is the refresh rate and all these things. That's not the marketing angle Apple uses. It's mainly done by their competitors. Apple actually solves problems we all face, such as staying connected, capturing moments, right, simplifying daily tasks. These are some of the things that Apple kind of showcases in the real estate marketing. Of course, people know they can check the stats, they can see the specs online, and they can mention them, right? But most of the marketing is actually based on showcasing how they can solve those problems. So for you as a real estate agent, what that means is that you don't need to showcase all the tools that you're using. Don't focus on building a fancy website or putting in some sort of gadget or talking about all the rewards or graduations or university degrees you have, right? That's not what the homeowners talk about or care about. But what the homeowners care about is solving their problems. So solving problems such as, okay, selling their house, right? Selling their house is stressful. It's difficult. It's emotional, right? There's all these things that go on when you're actually selling a house, right? So what you want to do with your real estate marketing is showcase people, hey, this is how I help this person to sell their house in a way that is actually stress-free. Now, also people may be wondering about the price of selling their house, right? Okay, what is going to be the cost for me to actually sell this house? And what is going to be the price I will generate as a person selling this property? How can I get the maximum price for selling my properties? So showcase people how you actually solve that problem. How do you run marketing to the property? How do you generate views, showings to that property? How many offers can you generate for the property? And this obviously also means that you have to actually have a great service, right? When the people actually list their houses with you, you need to serve them well. You need to get them their high price. You need to market the house well. You need to develop the skills to do so, especially online nowadays, right? But when you do that, that also acts as a marketing material by itself. Now, also there are problems that the homeowners themselves can experience in terms of their lifestyle, right? Maybe they're getting a little older, their kids moved away, right? So they no longer need such a big property. They can have a smaller property with smaller expenses. So there's all these problems the homeowners have, and what you want to do with your real estate marketing is talk about how you can solve those problems and how you have already solved those problems. So easiest way to think about it is like, imagine a puzzle piece that goes across the table. You are the expert that picks up these pieces one by one, fits them together to fill that complete picture for the homeowner. And when you show these to people, when you show that finished puzzle to the homeowners, they will see that you are the agent they can count on because you have already solved that puzzle. That's exactly what happens when you build your marketing around marketing materials like that. Now, step number 4 is to back it up with numbers, but not just your numbers. So imagine you walk into a neighborhood, right? You see a sign that says, hey, I'm the top real estate agent in this area. But there's another sign that says 9 out of 10 people that sold houses with me sold their houses within 2 weeks. Or you see a sign that says 93% of sellers sold their houses above the asking price when they sold a house with me. Now, which sign would you pay more attention to? The sign that says I'm the top real estate agent, or the sign that actually provides actual statistics, actual numbers, right? Well, that's exactly what Apple does, right? They don't just say we're the best company for buying a phone. Instead, they show that 98% of the iPhone users love their phone so much that they actually recommend them to their friends. So it's all about the customer satisfaction, not just bragging rights. And for real estate, it is the same exact thing. Don't just talk about how many homes you've sold, how great and successful you are, but share the stats that mean something to the homeowners, numbers that show the experience the homeowners have had when working with you. If most of your listings sell quickly or nearly all of your clients hit above the asking price, that is powerful. And that's exactly what it comes down to as well, is when you use those numbers to tell a story about the happy clients, the fast results they got, the customer experience they had, other homeowners see you as the agent who gets it done greatly, just like they want, not just in addition to your online marketing, but also in general, you would just generate referrals when you have that great customer experience. But you have to back it up with numbers. The main thing is not your numbers, but it's the numbers that the homeowners themselves experience when working with you. Now, step number 5 is to create a seamless experience. So think about Apple, right? You purchase an iPhone and everything just works. The messages go straight to your iMessages. The photos you take go straight to iCloud. The Apple Watch keeps you connected. You'll see the stats, right? It's just a smooth, stress-free, easy experience. As a real estate agent, ask this question from yourself, is from the homeowner's perspective, when they come from your marketing into your world, how easy, how stress-free is it to get to know you? How easy it is for me to receive value from you? How easy is it me to actually book a phone call with you, to actually speak with you, and how quickly do you respond to my messages when I send you messages? Do I feel supported when I become your lead? Do I feel like somebody is guiding me through this process of selling my house? So the top agents know this. They intuitively know that when you generate a real estate lead, you have to call them quickly. They also know that you have to make the process simple, meaning if I go to your website and it's an IDX where I have to search for all the houses, it's an IDX where I have to look at the properties myself, I have to do all of that, right? Instead of me just booking a phone call to speak with you, right? What do you think is going to be the seamless, more easy experience? Me looking at a bunch of the houses myself, or me just booking a phone call to speak with you so you take care of all of that for me. So when you build a business that makes selling feel like gliding forward on that walkway, right? Moving forward seamlessly with no bumps, no roadblocks, no hard steps in between, you're creating an experience that the clients will remember. A good example of this well is, let's say you have a website, right? Do I have to always plug in my email and phone number every time I want to do something on your website? While that can be good in a sales funnel-like scenario, on your actual website, you want to create an experience that the clients will remember and feel that it's going to be seamless, easy to work with. Bottom line for real estate marketing specifically for 2025 is that build real estate marketing that is based around the homeowner, not based around you. Easiest way to think about this is that if you have two lemonade stands, one is saying, hey, this is the best lemonade in the town. The other one says that, hey, this lemonade is perfect for a hot day. It's ice cold, it's super sweet, just what you need. Which one would you go for, right? You would go for the one that talks to you, not for the one that talks about themselves. And when building your real estate marketing online, you want to be that second lemonade stand where you have that specific brand. That's what Apple does as well, where it talks about the customer, talks about the things that other people want. And all the other brands in the real estate world are kind of like that first lemonade stand. So all the FISBO callers, door knockers, or people that purchase a lot of real estate leads, again, they will get some customers, right? Some people will go for that first lemonade stand, but really at the end of the day, most people want to go for a lemonade stand that talks about, again, them and their desires. So when you build your real estate business, don't just focus on getting a lead or just focus on getting some transactions. Focus on providing value when it comes out to the homeowner's experience. And this also goes back to your actual marketing strategy. Are you just automating your content and just being kind of like lazy with it, right? Or are you actually creating the content yourself? You post tips that are real, authentic, you put in actual time, effort, and you're creating these things. You're actually creating real, meaningful, authentic stories about the homeowners actually working with you, right? Or are you just posting a random review, you just put it out there, right? It also goes back to showing an effort in your real estate marketing and talking about the things that actually matter to the homeowner that are going to be showcasing to people that, hey, this is a realtor that cares about the customers. This is a realtor that's going to be my go-to realtor that's going to be there for me. And when people see that in your marketing, as funny as it sounds, when people just see that you care, they see that you actually put in the effort, they're going to feel like you're the one that understands exactly what they need and has their best interest in mind. And that's where it really comes down to when you look at Apple and you look at these other brands, right? It's not just the fact that Apple is a better phone. In many cases, other phones can be actually better, but Apple actually cares about the customer in the decisions, in the values, in just the way they run their own business. And really, that's when people choose you and you become that colorful candy jar that everybody wants. It's not because you're so great, it's because you show other people and you make other people feel like it's just for them.